Good evening. Thank you for coming. Yesterday I gave a full account to my girlfriend of my actions on the evening of the 24th of May, of what I thought and did. I am now going to repeat that account directly to you. I know a lot of you have been wondering and speculating about what has happened over the past few days, what you've seen on my social media and on my girlfriend's social media. I think it is therefore sensible for me to present the true story of what happened. On the 24th of May, at around 5 p.m, I started to notice that I was quite sober. Having been around sober and drunk people, I was aware of the signs that one might be sober and how it can present. At 5:15 p.m, I decided that I would open a can of cider, Strongbow Dark Fruits, and start to drink it. To protect those that live with me, I offered alcoholic drinks to them as well. At this point in time, they declined the offer, and it was just me that was drinking. At approximately 5:30 p.m, I finished the can and opened a second. I did not at this point in time deem it necessary to worry my girlfriend with the decision of whether or not to have another can. As it got to 6 p.m, hour 2 of the evening, I opened a third can of Strongbow Dark Fruits. At the time, I truly believed this was the best thing to do. The evening continued and I had another can or two. As it got to 7 p.m, hour 3 of the evening, I came to realise that I couldn't be sure whether or not the cider I had been drinking had yet had the intended effect. After the fourth cider, I decided that the best way to test if I had managed to alleviate my sobriety was to take a short drive to the nearest Tesco. I got in the car, and after a short period of looking for the steering wheel, I realised I was in the passenger's seat. It was at this point I clambered over to the driver's seat and began the journey to Tesco. I arrived at Tesco, and while I had hit 3 street signs on the way, I had not knocked over any pedestrians, so I was still uncertain as to whether I had been affected by the ciders or not. While I was in the Tesco car park, I entered the shop and bought another crate of ciders. I will stress that I believe that this is something that was permitted and was sensible to ensure the safety of myself and those around me. The drive back from Tesco was easier, knowing there was a 15-can crate of Strongbow Dark Fruits cider in the boot to look after, helped me safely drive the full journey home. I arrived home at around 8 p.m, hour 4 of the evening, and cracked open and drank a few more cans. The evening progressed, and the effects of the cider started to become quite evident to those around me. At one point in the evening, I was challenged, "You're drinking that so quickly, you might as well just be downing the whole can." At the time, I believed that this would be the best thing to do, and so I downed the entire can of cider. I did not ask my girlfriend about this decision. She was sober herself, and so had huge problems to deal with. Every day, I have to exercise my judgment about things like this and decide what to discuss with her. Later on in the evening, at 11 p.m, hour 7, I had made my way through most of the newly purchased crate. It was at this point that I started to feel queasy and as if I might need to be sick. I decided that it was in the best interest in these extreme circumstances to move out onto the balcony of the property. Arguably, this was a mistake, and I understand that some will say I should have instead gone to the bathroom. Indeed, following the subsequent events and the necessity to hire a jet washer the next day, some would say that throwing up on the balcony may not have been the correct decision. I believe that I made the right judgment though, and I understand that others may disagree with that. I have explained all of the above to my girlfriend, and I'm happy to answer questions from the media who are here. Do you regret what you did? Because many people in the country have made sacrifices in the last couple of months, and it seems like you were just doing whatever you wanted. Thank you. No, I don't regret what I did. I believe that what I did was within the regulations, and that it was the right decision at the time. Why did you drive all the way to Tesco to see if you were drunk? That doesn't sound like a very safe thing to do. Did you stop, or anyone notice you on the way? I personally believed that this would be the best way to test my sobriety. I was careful not to stop and to drive at a strict 10 miles an hour below each speed limit along the way, so as not to cause suspicion or alarm to those around me. Why did you drive to Tesco? It sounds opportunistic to mix the drive with a trip to buy more alcohol. Wouldn't any short drive, or trying to walk in a straight line, or trying to touch your nose have told you whether you were drunk or not? The point is not that Tesco was a nice place to be. If you've seen it, you'll know it's just a big concrete building. I believe that the drive was the correct and permitted way to test whether or not I had become drunk. Would it not have made more sense to go to the bathroom when you needed to throw up? There is no regulation covering the situation I found myself in on Saturday night. I had to exercise my judgment about what to do, weighing up all these different things. Okay, thank you very much, everybody. Take care. Well, what a week, everybody. So, what's happened? Well, Dominic Cummings gave a press conference on Monday about his trip to and around Durham. In true politician form, what was intended to clear up confusion ended up just confusing everyone a little bit more. The Durham police force managed to change their story 2 or 3 times to line up with Mr. Cummings' accounts. They eventually conceded that he had probably broken the law, but that they weren't going to do anything about it, and Dominic himself refused at any point to apologise. There have been calls for Mr. Cummings to resign, to be sacked, for the Prime Minister himself to be sacked. Boris himself has now taken to restricting any follow-up questions at his press conferences and only answering the parts of questions he likes with political hyperbole as usual. And even with all this political crappery, this insane situation the UK finds itself in, where the leaders are looking after their mates instead of elderly people dying of COVID-19 in care homes, where we're starting to open up the country again even as the statisticians watch in horror as this important R figure approaches and will soon again exceed the magic figure of 1, where we're being told to go back to work if we can't work from home. Oh, but by the way, double-decker buses will be restricted to 20 people. Even as the UK receives an olive branch from the European Union, offering extra time to sort out a Brexit deal, a highly needed offer that we swat away like a bad smell. Despite all of this, Mr. Trump has decided that he can still take the medal of lunatic dictator away from Boris and Cummings, away from Putin and Xi Jinping. Donald Trump, the leader of the world's richest, most freedom-loving country, has decided he's going to enter into a spat with Twitter. In an expression of their own free speech, Twitter thought it would probably be a good idea to point out that Trump was lying about postal votes in his tweets, and so they added a link which, relatively neutrally, explained the situation, explained the facts, and provided a fuller picture than Trump's original tweets. That Donald was obviously outraged by this, and so went on a rampage, still using Twitter's platform, by the way, about how Twitter needed to be regulated, and he was going to sign an executive order to restrict them or regulate them. Don't you tell the Donald that it's bedtime and he needs to put away his toys. No, he wants to have his cake, eat it, crap it out, and throw it at the nearest poor person. And so, as he marches forward with his executive order supposedly restricting Twitter, he still manages to tweet something so insane that even in its supposed precarious position, Twitter once again has to not only clarify the truth about the president's tweets, but actually censor it. Because the leader of the world's most powerful country turned around today, 14 hours ago, and said, "When the looting starts, the shooting starts." Videos of George Floyd, a black man in Minnesota, being strangled to death by a police officer kneeling on his neck emerged this week, and people are, unsurprisingly, a bit narked off. The reason the police were there, by the way, was because a local storekeeper thought that Floyd was trying to use a forged $20 bill. Protests have started in Minnesota, but the president, instead of lending even part of a fake-tanned ear to the cause of black Americans who feel that this keeps happening to them, instead decided to aggress them further on Twitter. Because for the president, it's not Black Lives Matter, it's Black Lives Matter so little that he will happily instruct the police and the military to kill off some more. It's insanity what is going on out there. And that is why, now more than ever, we all sit here and play a stupid Friday night quiz. We can forget about the world for a little while, pretend that pubs still exist, and push some of that anger onto our dumb teammates who insist that the answer was Branson, when it was quite obviously a quote from Esther Rantzen. This is my Friday night stay-at-home quiz. It has mugs.
It's hard to stay up, it's been a long, long day. But hang on, leave the TV on, and let's do it anyway. It's okay, you can always sleep through work tomorrow, okay? Hey, hey, tomorrow's just your future yesterday.
That's enough of me being self-righteous. Let's crack on with the quiz, shall we? Round number 1, general knowledge round. Do you know as much as you think you know? Question number 1 of round number 1 this week. What castle has been in the news this week? What castle has been in the news this week?
San Francisco Bay, House B39, early PM, can't remember what time. Got the waiting cab, stopped at the red light. Address I'm sure of, but it's not just right. It started straight off, coming here as hell. That's his first words, we asked what he meant. He said, where you from? We told him a lot. We take a holiday, is this what you want? So have a night.
Don't worry everyone, the jacket is back. I felt I couldn't say some of the things I was saying in a Pac-Man jacket, which is probably right. Question number 2. What comedy sketch have people in Sunning, Berkshire been replicating this week? What comedy sketch have people in Sunning, Berkshire been replicating this week?
Have a drink of chase yourself and tourists, yeah, that's what I hate. You said we're going wrong, we've all become the same. We dress the same ways, only our accents change. So have a nice day. Have a nice day. Have a nice day. Have a nice day.
Question number 3. Who has been praised on social media for their Newsnight introduction this week? Who has been praised on social media for their Newsnight introduction this week?
Swim in the ocean, that be my dish. I'll drive around all day and kill processed fish. It's all money gum, no artists anymore. You're only in it now to make 'em more, more, more. So have a nice day. Have a nice day. Have a nice.
Question number 4. Which UK festival has the BBC announced it will show classic sets from at the end of June? Which UK festival has the BBC announced it will show classic sets from at the end of June?
Have a nice day. Have a nice day.
Long she sees apart from me, possessed behind the eyes. Apart from the frightening, the moaning, the biting, seems to be the nice guy. And I know what she thinks, and she looks at me, and she looks with such despair. But you're not the only.
Question number 5. What is the best way to test your eyesight if you think it's going bad? What is the best way to test your eyesight if you think it's going bad?
What is
And question number 6. This is a real question. What is the name of Boris Johnson's political brother? What is the name of Boris Johnson's political brother? And question number 7. Question number 7 of the general knowledge round. What is the official address of the Chancellor of the Exchequer? What is the official address of the Chancellor of the Exchequer? Question number 8. What is the nickname of the London building with the address 30 St Mary Axe? What is the nickname of the London building with the address 30 St Mary Axe? Question number 9. Who founded Facebook? Who founded Facebook? And finally, question number 10. With which alternative grain did Weetabix release a cereal in 2006? With which alternative grain did Weetabix release a cereal in 2006? The grain or the cereal is all okay. Here's your questions. Get the answers over to me. We will mark them. I think my mother is helping me with the marking again this week, so thanks to her. And we'll get the marks as quickly as possible and get back to you with round number 2.
When I was young, I never knew what this thing called love could do to you. But since you've been gone and I've been on my own, I've been feeling quite peculiar. But I'll get by without your smile, and I'll get through without you. But I wish it was me you chose. 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 Elvis ain't dead, and you're coming back. And Elvis ain't dead, and you're coming back. Oh. Since you've been gone, I can do what I like, but it doesn't mean a lot to me. I'm all shook up and I'm lonesome tonight. I think I need a love lobotomy, but I'll get by without your smile, and I'll get through without.
Right, let's do some answers, shall we? Let's just give that a click. So, question 1 was about the castle that has been in the news this week. The Dominic Cummings theme continues. It is, of course, Barnard Castle, up in Durham. Question number 2. What comedy sketch have people in Sunning, Berkshire been replicating this week? It is the Ministry of City Walks. There's a guy who set up a camera out of his front garden and then set up a sign saying, do city walks between here. And he's just compiled the clips and put them online of people doing city walks along the street, which is quite fun. Question 3 was about the Newsnight presenter who's been praised on social media for their introduction this week. That was, of course, Emily Maitlis. The UK festival, the BBC has announced it will show classic sets from at the end of June, is Glastonbury. Obviously not holding it this year, but the BBC's got plenty of footage. Question 5. What is the best way to test your eyesight if you think it's going bad? Drive somewhere. We gave points for everything here. Opticians, whatever. You all got points. What is the name of Boris Johnson's political brother? That is Joe. He stepped back from a cabinet position or something at some point. The official address of the Chancellor of the Exchequer, right next to the Prime Minister, 11 Downing Street. We will have less politics next week, I think. The nickname of the London building with the address 30 St Mary Axe. A couple of people putting the Shard, a couple of people putting other things. It is the Gherkin. The Gherkin, one of the original big skyscrapers in London. Founder of Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg. He himself has been in the news as well this week, defending the president for reasons. And the alternative grain Weetabix released a cereal with in 2006 is oats, or Oatabix. Now, just a quick reminder what we are all playing for this week. Well, I'm not, you are. What you're all playing for this week. These lovely Tom Stay-at-Home Quiz mugs all the way up here. And we got one of these mugs delivered to the winner from last time, from 2 weeks ago. And here they are with their mug. That's Hayley, Luna, Reese, and Elliot and Reese. Elliot is the little kid who they dragged out of bed to help them with the Mr. Man and Little Miss round. There they are with their mug. See, the mugs exist and you might actually get it if I know your address. But anyway, let's crack on with round number 2. So round number 2 is the quotes round. There is no particular theme this week. These are just famous quotes attributed to famous people. So your first one is, life is what happens when you're busy making other plans. Who said this? Life is what happens when you're busy making other plans.
Big wheels keep on turning, carry me home to smack you, singing songs about the Southland. I miss Alabama once again, and I think it's the same. Yes.
Quote number 2 this week. I can resist everything except temptation. I can resist everything except temptation. Who said that?
Well, I hope Neil Young will remember. I said that man don't need him around anyhow.
Quote number 3. Who said this? I have nothing to offer but blood, toil, tears, and sweat. I have nothing to offer but blood, toil, tears, and sweat. Quote number 4. In the future, everyone will be world famous for 15 minutes. In the future, everyone will be world famous for 15 minutes. Who said that? Question number 5. If you can't handle me at my worst, then you sure as hell don't deserve me at my best. If you can't handle me at my worst, then you sure as hell don't deserve me at my best. Let me know who said that. And quote number 6. I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. Who said, I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. Quote number... There we go. Quote number 7 is, you must be the change you wish to see in the world. You must be the change you wish to see in the world. Quote number 8. Who said, those are my principles, and if you don't like them, well, I have others. Who said, those are my principles, and if you don't like them, well, I have others. Quote number 9. Every child is an artist. The problem is how to remain an artist once we grow up. If you've seen my drawing, this is factually incorrect. But every child is an artist. The problem is how to remain an artist once we grow up. Who said that? And finally, quote number 10. If you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid. Quite a famous one, this one. If you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid. Here are all your quotes. Get your answers over to me. We'll get them marked, and I'll be back in a bit.
She was mine, she looks so good. I wanna hold her tight. Get teenage kicks right through the night. I'm gonna call her on the telephone. Have her over 'cause I'm all alone. I need excitement, oh I need it bad. And it's the best I've ever had. I wanna hold her tight. Get teenage kicks right through the night. Teenage dreams so hard to beat. Every time she walks down the street, another girl in the neighborhood. Wish she was mine, she looks so good. I wanna hold her tight. That teenage kicks right through the night. I'm gonna call her on the telephone. Have her over 'cause I'm all alone. I need excitement, oh I need it bad. And it's the best I've ever had. I wanna hold her tight. That teenage kicks right through the night. Alright.
Stop dreaming of the quiet life, 'cause someone will never know. Quit running for the runaway bus, 'cause those rosy days are few. And stop apologizing for the things
Hurry up.
never done. Time is short and life is cool, but it's up to us to change the time that matters. Rows and rows of fish cheese milkers and dine in the dairy yard, and 100 lonely housewives like shanty milk bowls to their hearts, hanging out their own love letters on the line to dry. It's enough to make you stop believing when tears come fast and furious and time that matters.
Right, that's most people. Let's have a look at some answers, shall we? So your first quote this evening was, "Life is what happens when you're busy making other plans." This is a quote from John Lennon. "I can resist everything except temptation." That is Oscar Wilde. Quote number 3 was, "I have nothing to offer but blood, toil, tears and sweat." That was Winston Churchill. "In the future, everyone will be world famous for 15 minutes." That's very famously Andy Warhol. Number 5, "If you can't handle me at my worst, then you sure as hell don't deserve me at my best." Marilyn Monroe. "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work," is Thomas Edison. "You must be the change you wish to see in the world." That is Gandhi. "Those are my principles, and if you don't like them, well, I have others," is, of course, Groucho Marx. He says it's got all sorts of quotes along the lines of that. "I don't want to be part of any club that would have me as a member," is another one. "Every child is an artist. The problem is how to remain an artist once we grow up." This was a famous artist, Pablo Picasso. "And if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid." That's Albert Einstein. I realised we didn't look at the leaderboard last time. Nobody shouted at me in the YouTube comments, so I completely didn't realise. But we can have a look at the leaderboard now. And we have 2 teams in joint second place. We have Team HB and Is This the Way to Barnard Castle, who have both dropped just 1 point. And the 7 Chroma Road gang are storming ahead, full marks this week so far. So we'll see what happens as we go into the next round. I just want to give a shout out to some of the team names that we've got this week. So we've got everyone, well, there are quite a few teams who are on the same Dominic Cummings vibe that I'm clearly on. We've got Is This the Way to Barnard Castle, Cummings and Goings, Cummings and Not Goings, Dominic Cummings in the Wood. I've read what that actually says, that's funnier. Up and Coming and What I Did Was Reasonable in These Circumstances. So we've got lots of Dominic Cumming jokes. We've also got a team called My Team Stress Me Out, so I hope you're okay. I hope, you know, they're not being too bad this week. We've got Love Will Tear Us 2 Meters Apart, which I quite like. And my favourite one, You Ruined Last Friday. I'm very sorry. I think my dad had a nice birthday, but I'm sorry I ruined your week. Let's crack on with round number 3 then, shall we? Round number 3 is the pictures round, as normal. And this was suggested to me by someone, I can't remember who, so I'm very sorry. But it is album covers. So I'm going to show you some pictures of album covers. Where necessary, the names and the names of the albums have been taken off. But I want you to tell me which album covers they are. I want to know the name of the album. I don't need to know the artist, just the name of the album. This is your first one. Album number 2 is this one. So obviously I don't want the artist, just the name of the album. Album number 3 is this one. This is album number 4. This is album number 5.
Someone that makes me feel seasick. Oh, what a skill to have. Oh, what a skill to have. So many skills that make her distinctive. But they're not mine to have. No, they're not mine. Whenever she looks, I read the nearest paper.
Question number 6, or album number 6, is this one.
Though I'm acting like I'm in an EastEnders episode. If this is a rom-com, kill a director. If this is a rom-com, kill a director, please. Carrots help us see much better in the dark. Don't talk to girls, they'll break your heart. And this is my head and this is my spout. Though they work together, they can't figure anything out. So with the angst of a teenage band, here's another song about a gender I'll never understand. Here's another song about a gender I'll never understand. If this is a rom-com, kill a director.
Album number 7 is this one.
Rom-com, kill a director. If this is a rom-com, kill a director, please. This is no Bridget Jones.
This is number 8.
This is no Bridget Jones. This is no Bridget. This is no Bridget Jones. This is no Bridget. This is no Bridget Jones. This is no Bridget. This is no Bridget Jones.
And number 9 is this album. What album is this? And finally, album number 10 is this one. Cool. So you should be able to see them all here. Get your answers in. I will start marking them. You know the drill. Catch you in a bit.
Punctured bicycle on a hillside desolate. Will nature make a man of me yet? When in this charming car, this charming man, why pamper life's complexity when the leather runs smooth on the passenger seat? I would go out tonight.
so happy. I can see the fine things happening here today. A show of strength with your boys brigade. I'm so happy and you're so kind. You want more money, of course I don't mind. My nuclear text was for atomic crimes, and the public gets what the public wants. But I want nothing society does. I'm going underground. What if the brass bands play up and start to pound? Going underground. What if the boys all sing or let the boys all shout for tomorrow? Some people might get some pleasure out of hate me. I've had enough already on my plate. People might need some tension to relax me. I'm too busy dodging between the facts. You see, here's what you get. You made your bed, you better lie in it. You choose your leaders and place your trust. As the lies wash you down and their promises rust. You'll see killing machines with paper rockets and guns. And the public wants what the public gets. But I don't give up the society wants. I'm going underground. All of the brass bands play on beat, start to pound. Going underground. So let the boys all sing, or let the boys all shout for tomorrow. La 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 la. La 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 la. We're talking till my head explodes. I turn on the news and my body blows. Spraying shit on my TV screen. But this boy shout like this boy scream. Going underground. Going underground. I'm going underground. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Keep on my TV screen. Like this boy shout, like this boy scream. Going underground. While the brass bands play on beat, start to pound. Going underground. While the boys all sing, or let the boys all shout. Going underground. While the brass bands play on beat, go bow, bow, bow. Going underground. So let the boys all sing, or let the boys all shout for tomorrow.
Right, let's get some answers, shall we? Let's just press that button and then all is good. So, answer time. These were the albums that I showed you. This was the first one, which is, of course, Dark Side of the Moon, Pink Floyd. This is the second one, obviously an Amy Winehouse album, but it is Back to Black. Number 3 is Green Day, American Idiot, is the answer. This fourth one, lots of people getting that this was Gorillaz, but not as many people getting Demon Days, which is the name of the album. This is Taylor Swift, as you can see from the photo, and the album is 1989. This one is Thriller. This one, Bruce Springsteen, Born in the USA. This one, I didn't see if anyone actually got it right. I don't see... Oh, there's a couple of 10s, so a couple of people must have done. Loads and loads of people putting Ziggy Stardust. But this is Aladdin Sane. David Bowie, of course. This 9th one, Enema of the State, which is a horrible title. And the last one is, of course, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. Anything that said Pepper, Sergeant Lonely in it, got points. So let's have a look at what that has done to our leaderboard. We've now got 3 teams in joint first place. That's quite the battle up there. So we've got Is This the Way to Barnard Castle, 7 Chroma Road Gang, and Team HB. So 7 Chroma Road Gang let their lead slip slightly in that round, and now they've been joined by 2 other people. Close behind them, My Team Stress Me Out is just 1 point behind. Panic at the Tesco, just 1 point behind them, and then a load more teams there. All on 26 as well. So only a couple of points to make up to get to that top spot. I thought we would have welcome a new player to the quiz. This is my new niece, Ava. It's her first quiz this week. Let's have a look. Where is Ava's first quiz? There we go. Ava's first quiz down in 21st place. So sorry guys, you're not, Ava's not pulling her weight clearly. But yes, welcome to the quiz, Ava. Right, it's all about me this week, isn't it? Let's get back to the quiz. So, round number 4 is the sports round. Question number 1. Which country will now host the 2020 F1 season opener? I've not the answers for you. Which country will now host the 2020 F1 season opener?
I love the way she feels her clothes. She looks just like them girls in Vogue. I love the way she plays it cool. I think that she is beautiful. She's so lovely, 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 she's so lovely. She's pretty, a fitzy. She's got a boyfriend though, and that's a pity. She's flirty, turned dirty. Ain't that the age a girl gets really dirty? I don't know, I don't know, I don't know how we'll make it through this.
I keep turning my microphone down. It's probably a good thing for you guys. Question number 2. How many shots under par is an albatross? How many shots under par is an albatross?
She makes me drool. I think that she is beautiful. She's so lovely, she's so lovely, she's so lovely. Well, she's so lovely, she's so lovely, she's so lovely, she's so lovely. A stunner, I wonder, was she this fit when she was 10 years younger? Come see me discreetly. She said she's got a trick or two to teach me. I don't know.
Question number 3. Which horse won the Virtual Grand National 2020? Which horse won the Virtual Grand National 2020?
Make it through this. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how we'll make it through this. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I think that you are lovely. 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 I think that you.
Question number 4 in the sports round. How many Olympic gold medals has Mo Farah won? How many Olympic gold medals has Mo Farah won?
Beautiful. She's so lovely, 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 she's so lovely. I don't know, I don't know, I don't know how we'll make it through this. I don't know, I don't know, I don't know how we'll make it through this. I don't know, I don't know, I don't know.
Question number 5. What colour is the rightmost Olympic ring? What colour is the rightmost Olympic ring?
I don't know, I don't know how we'll make it through this. I don't know, I don't know, I don't know.
Question number 6. Which player has the most Premier League hat-tricks? Which player has the most Premier League hat-tricks? Apologies for all the people that don't like sports, like me. I do terribly in this round, but it's a pub quiz, isn't it?
Well, I don't wanna wake up in the morning, but I've got to face the day. That's what all the friends I do not like as much as you say. I don't wanna do things independently, but I can't make you
Question number 7. Which snooker player is nicknamed the Rocket? Which snooker player is nicknamed the Rocket? Question number 8 of the sports round. Which sport do the Pittsburgh Penguins play? Which sport do the Pittsburgh Penguins play? If you haven't got any other ones right, there's a big clue in Penguins. Question number 9. Who will Aston Villa play on the first day of restarted Premier League fixtures? Who will Aston Villa play on the first day of restarted Premier League fixtures? And finally, question number 10. What device do bosses want golfers to wear in upcoming tournaments? These are tournaments that are going to be held behind closed doors. What device do bosses want golfers to wear in these upcoming tournaments? Here's all the questions. Get me your answers. I'll be back in a tick.
Everybody's dressing up, I'm dressing down. Life's one big circle and it does end. When it ends, will you still be my friend? Am I making a fool of myself? But tell me I'm not making a fool of myself. So when you look in the mirror, reflecting back at you, someone that you don't know, that's just made your head spin around. So get yourself together and get jumping back on the ride. I've had the same jeans on for 4 days now. I'm gonna go to a disco in the middle of the town. Everybody's dressing up, I'm dressing down. I take my hats off to the busker man when they drown all the sorrows. They're singing songs, not everything as what I can plan, but believe me, he's smiling as long as he can. So when you look in the mirror, reflecting back at you some place that you don't know, that shit's made your head spin around. So get yourself together and get your feet back on the ground. I've had the same jeans on for 4 days now. I'm gonna go to a disco in the middle of a town. Everybody's dressing up, I'm dressing down. My mind's not perfect, but it's sincere. You'd be amazed at what you don't achieve in the air. And you try so hard, but your all's on a switch. And I know you try so hard, but your all's on a switch. So when you look in the mirror, reflecting back at you, someone that you don't know, that's just made your head spin around. So get yourself together and get your feet back on the ground. So when you look in the mirror, reflecting back at you, someone that you don't know, that's just made your head spin
Let's crack on with some sports answers then, shall we? The first question was about the Formula 1 season opener. Which country will be hosting it? It is Austria. Austria will be hosting 2 races, 2 weeks, a week apart. And then the British Grand Prix at Silverstone, there'll be 2 of those. It's going to be very weird. It's going to be sort of Groundhog Day watching the probably exact same race a week after the next. But such is life at the moment. It's Austria. How many shots under par is an albatross? It is 3 shots under par, as all of us keen golfers, never played it in my life, would know. The horse that won the Virtual Grand National was Potter's Corner. I'm not really sure how a Virtual Grand National works. They just roll a dice or something. Olympic gold medals from Mo Farah. He has won 4. He won 2 at the 2016 Olympics and 2 at the 2012 Olympics, I think. The colour of the rightmost Olympic ring is red. And the player that has the most Premier League hat-tricks is Sergio Aguero. He has 12 hat-tricks. That's 36 goals from hat-tricks. That's quick maths. The snooker player that is nicknamed the Rocket is Ronnie O'Sullivan. The sport the Pittsburgh Penguins play. The clues in Penguins, it's ice hockey. Aston Villa will be playing Sheffield United. There's another game on that day as well, but I can't remember who it is. And the device that bosses want golfers to wear in upcoming tournaments, they want them to wear microphones. I think because obviously there's going to be no crowd noise or anything like that. They want to sort of to be able to hear the golfers thinking through their shots and things like that. So let's see how that has affected the leaderboard. And we do have a clear leader. But first, we have 4 teams in joint 3rd place. We have Whose Horse Is Dat? 7 Chroma Road Gang, My Team Stressed Me Out, and Tom's Pac-Man Suit Made Me Quiz. You are all on 34 points. In 2nd place, Team HB with 35 points. And up at the top is This the Way to Barnard Castle at 36 points. They will be happy. They've won a lot of these quizzes and they weren't doing as well this week, but they've shot their way back up to the top. So well done to those guys. Should we have a look what the bottom of the leaderboard is looking like? We've got Jess We're In, Cummings and Not Goings, So Suffolk Clever, Last Again. Not doing too well down at the bottom, but you're taking part and that is what matters. Let's have a look at round number 5. Everyone's favourite. It's the numbers round. Question number 1 in the numbers round. How far is it from London to Durham in miles? Because we haven't had enough Dominic Cummings questions. How far is it from London to Durham in miles? By the way, this was just an excuse to make another Dominic Cummings joke, so as long as you get it within, like, I don't know, 40 miles, I really don't care. Question number 2 in everybody's favourite round. How many times has Dominic Cummings apologised for breaking lockdown rules? I promise this is the last one. How many times has Dominic Cummings apologised for breaking lockdown rules?
You would keep the secret secret.
Right, let's have a real question, shall we? Number 3. To the nearest 10 degrees C, this is a proper numbers round question. To the nearest 10 degrees Celsius, at what temperature does water boil at the top of Mount Everest? There you go. There's a numbers round question for you. Question number 4. How many different mayors of London have there been? Now, I'm talking the modern mayor, not the Lord Mayor. How many different mayors of London have there been? And finally, question number 5. How many toes does a crocodile have in total? How many toes does a crocodile have in total? Here are the questions. Get your answers over to me. I will get them marked, and we'll be back with the final round, which will be the intros round. See you in a bit.
jerk it out. When you jerk it out. Jerk it out. But baby, don't you know you really gotta jerk it out. When you jerk it out. Baby, don't you know you really gotta jerk it out. When you jerk it out. Baby, don't you know you really gotta jerk it out.
I wanna know, since you've been gone, have I been on your mind? 'Cause I know I was for a while. Late last night, I saw you out. For a moment I turned to stone. 'Cause there's still something only we see. Don't talk, out of run to kiss your mouth. Is it me or just a dream that never dies? There's a reason why I never returned your calls. I wish I could forget it all, but I never returned your calls. 'Cause I fall in again.
We have a full house. Everyone's answered, so let's have a look at the answers to the numbers round. Question number 1 was, how far is it from London to Durham in miles? We've gone for 260. That's what most of the papers are reporting, but I think we gave answers to almost everyone apart from someone who put 350. That's where I drew the line. Question 2. It seems unfair to draw a line there, but that's what happened. Question 2. How many times has Dominic Cummings apologised for breaking lockdown rules? The answers to this were brilliant. So my favourite answer is when you put a 0, because then it marks it for me and I don't have to think about it. But the different ways that people were just showing venom in their answer. I got one which was 0, zilch, nada, nothing. Lots of in capitals, never. He's not apologised once. I found it very entertaining. Thanks for those people who made my life harder but funnier. To the nearest 10 degrees C. That's not even the right letter at the beginning of that. At what temperature does water boil at the top of Mount Everest? 70. It's about 71 degrees C. The temperature that water boils at depends on the atmosphere. And the atmosphere is very thin at the top of Mount Everest because it's a long way up. Yeah, some people getting that right. How many different London mayors have there been? Just 3. It started with Ken Livingstone. He did 8 years. Then Boris Johnson did 8 years. And we are now on Sadiq Khan. And finally, number 5. How many toes does a crocodile have in total? So we had a lot of 16s and a lot of 20s. So this is people thinking that it's 4 on each foot or 5 on each foot. Trick question, it's 18. They have, 5 on their front feet. 5 toes on their front feet and 4 toes on their back feet. And they are webbed differently. So there you go. That is more information than you ever needed to know about crocodiles. Let's have a look at the leaderboard. Is this the way to Barnard Castle? Still at the top with 36 points. Just a point behind them is Team HB. And just a point behind them, Tom's Pac-Man suit made me quiz. My team stressed me out. Now we're sucking with Diesel. 7 Chroma Road Gang. And Whose Horse is Dead? Which apparently I have to do in an Irish accent and I don't understand the reference, which makes me sad. On that note, shall we get cracking with the intros round? So the intros round this week is back to the standard intros round. I will play you the beginning of a song. I want you to tell me what that song is. We've had some different versions of the music round in the past few quizzes. But back to the standard one. All of these were in the top 10 charts in a year, and I want you to tell me that year. Some of them are from the beginning of the year, so they would have been in the year before as well, but I want the year that all of them were in the charts. So, intro number 1 is this. That's really quiet. I'll play it again. So I just want the title of the song. I don't want the artist or anything like that. Just the title of the song. I'll play that for you again. And I should have unlocked the answers as well. I did it a bit late, but they should be there now. Intro number 2 is this. It's quite a short one. Very short there, but if you're well, I can't say any of what I was going to say because it would have given it away. And one more time. I will play all of the intros again right at the end, so get the answers that you've got down. If you miss any, we'll recap them at the end. This is intro number 3, a longer one this time. Now, good for you if you get this one right, because I made these yesterday and I can't remember what that is. Right, that was number 3. Let's play the intro number 4 now. And once again for you. Intro number 5 is this. What's that about to go into? I'll play it for you again. Intro number 6 is this. Oh, getting right into it there. This is, I'll play number 6 for you again. There you go. This is intro number 7. Super short. That's all you're getting. So remember, I want the name of the song, not the artist or the singer, just the name of the song. There you go. That's a tricky one, that is. Number 8 is also super quiet. Yeah. Super quiet. Super quiet. Super short. Yeah. That's all you're getting. Number 8 is this. Yeah. We'll go through them all again at the end. This is intro number 9. Play that for you again. And finally, number 10 is this. I keep nearly singing them, which is terrible because firstly you'd hear me sing, and secondly I would sing the title of the song. And one more time, just because it's short. And remember, the bonus question is, what year were all of these songs in the chart? It's not necessarily the year they were released, but the year that they were all in the chart. I think they're all top 10s, but don't quote me on that. Right, start to get your answers in. I will recap them now. I will play each one once, and that is your lot. So this is number 1. This is number 2. This is number 3. This is number 4. This is number 5. Again, I nearly sang that. This is number 6. This is number 7. Okay, I'll give that to you again just because it's so short. This is number 8. Again, I'll play this one twice because it's super short.
Yeah.
Once more.
Yeah.
Number 9 is this. And finally, number 10 is this. No more repeats, that's your lot. Get your answers over to me and I'll be back in a tick.
Her lips. She's a rock and roll survivor with pendulum hips. She's got deep brown eyes that have seen it all. Working at a nightclub that was called the Avenue. The barman used to call her Little Lisa Looney Tune. She went down on almost anyone. From the hard time living till the Chelsea days. From when her hair was sweet blonde till the day it turned grey. She said Lifegoson. You got more than money and sense, my friend. You got heart and you go in your own way. Lifegoson. What you don't have now will come back again. You got heart and you go in your own way. Like a map on their face. And Joey was an artist just living out a case. But his best work was his letters home. Extended works of fiction about imaginary success. When chorus girls and neon were his closest thing to friends. But to a writer, the truth is no big deal. And from the hard time living to the sleepless nights and the black and blue body from the weekend fights, he'd say Lifegoson. Got more than money and sense, my friend. You got heart and you go in your own way. Lifegoson. What you don't have now will come back again. You got heart and you go in your own way. On my last night on earth, I won't look to the sky. Just breathe in the air and blink in the light. On my last night on earth, I pay a high price to have no regrets and be done with my life. Lifegoson. Got more than money and sense, my friend. You got heart and you go in your own way. Lifegoson. What you don't have now will come back again. You got heart and you go in your own way. Lifegoson. Got more than money and sense, my friend. You got heart and you go going your own way.
City dweller, successful fella, thought to himself, oops, I've got a lot of money. Caught in a rat race, terminally. I'm a professional cynic, but my heart's not in it. I'm paying the price of living life at the limit. Caught up in the centuries, anxiety. Yes, it preys on him. Then drives him wrong. Lives in a house, very big house in the country. Watching afternoon repeats and the food he eats in the country. He takes a manner of pills and piles up analyst bills in the country. Oh, it's like an animal farm, that's a rural charm in the country. He's got morning glory and life's a different story. Everything's going Jack and Jory, in touch with his own mortality. He's reading Mozart, looking bad prose. It's a helping hand that makes you feel wonderfully blind. Oh, it's a century's remedy for the fact that heart. Star drives syndrome. Lives in a house, a very big house in the country. He's got a fog in his chest, so he needs a lot of rest in the country. He doesn't drink, smoke, laugh, takes herbal baths in the country. Says you come to no harm on the animal farm in the country. In the country. In the country. In the country. Oh, he lives in a house, a very big house in the country. Watching afternoon repeats and the food he eats in the country.
Right, let's get some answers, shall we? So, the first intro I played you, what song was that? Well, it was this.
Imagine there's no heaven.
Of course, Imagine by John Lennon. Number 2 was this. Which, of course, is You're My Number 1 from S Club 7. We all love a bit of S Club. Well, I do. Number 3, Born to Make You Happy, Britney Spears. Some people are getting this right. I genuinely, when I listened to this, did not recognise the song at all, so good effort there. This was number 4, it was Oasis with Go Let It Out. Number 5 was this. Bye 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 by NSYNC, which is of course what they sing exactly after the intro that I played you, which is why I kept nearly saying it. Number 6 was this. Bag It Up by Jerry Halliwell. Now, I didn't see if anyone... Well, one team got everything right, so someone must have known that. How the hell do you know that song? Number 7 was this. Which was, of course, Fill Me In by Craig David. Sorry, I've got a late entry. There you go. Number 8 was this. Deeper Shade of Blue by Steps. Again, some people getting the bands but not the songs, which is what we needed to get the points. Number 9 was this, which is Don't Call Me Baby by Madison Avenue. I did not realise that Sophie Ellis-Bextor's version of this was a cover, and this is the original, I think. There you go, pointless trivia with Tom. And the final one was this, which is, of course, Beautiful Day by U2. And the year you were looking for was the year 2000. The year 2000. Lots of people putting 1999, a few years before that, a few years after that, but it was the year 2000 that all of those songs were in the charts. So, what has that done to our leaderboard? Well, we have one team in clear first place. But first of all, let's have a look at some of our runners-up. We've got Mrs. Tiggy Winkle is a Hedgehog, of course, in 10th place. We've got You Ruined Last Friday and Panic at the Tesco in a respectable 8th place. Remembering there's like 34 teams this week, so 8th place is still alright. In 6th place, we have Tom's Pac-Man Suit Made Me Quiz. Now, they won 3 weeks ago, so that is quite the fall from glory. And Whose Horse Is Dat? And then the top 5 this week. In joint 4th, Now We're Sucking Diesel and 7 Chroma Road Gang with 46 points. Team HB in 3rd place with 48 points. My Team Stress Me Out. They can't have been that stressful if they've helped you do this well. They're in 2nd place with 49 points. And our winner this week, Is This the Way to Barnard Castle, with 50 points out of a possible 56 or something. So that's a pretty good score. So well done to them. There will be a mug on the way to one of you. I know who you are, so I won't have to email some random. But one of you will end up with one of my mugs in your house. Feel free to smash it. I think the only way we could possibly finish this week is to hear even more of Jerry Halliwell's Bag It Up. Have a good week, everybody. I'll be back next week. No more weeks off for me. I hope you enjoyed yourselves tonight, and we'll have more fun next week.